Okay, let me talk to y'all a little bit about leveling up and going from a 9 to 5 to having your own business or being your own boss. Okay, so it's a lot of misconfusion out here about transferring over. But first, let me let you know you can head over to ForesizeLife.com if you want to get some strong black seed oil that's from Ethiopia and some other projects. And also we have our Ghana honey that will probably be on the shelves next week. So be on the lookout for that, just in case. But I'm sending out a blast to my HK Network members when we launch it. Now, if you want to be part of HK Network membership area, go to ForesizeLife.com. If you want to know how the private behind the scenes on getting some money and what business owners do, what investors do, and when they start elevating themselves up and they get a little money so they won't get in trouble with taxes, and they also know how to dispense their money. And you don't really need millions of dollars to live at all, not here. And you can't use it all anyway. And you can get all that information just being yourself a thousandaire. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. It's way too much money when you're having tens and tens and tens and thousands of dollars every single month. Anyways, let's get here. Okay, let's talk about this right here. I was listening to a podcast. I'm not going to do a reaction video. I don't like dragging our people and sharing what they said and kind of disrespecting them. Because a lot of people have been going back and forth talking about Damon Dash, okay? And telling you that it takes a lot to be a leader. You shouldn't just jump out there and leave your job. A job is more consistent. A 9 to 5 job, it gives you security and you know you got what you got coming. Okay, true, 100%. If you do a 9 to 5, you ain't got to really worry about creativity, okay? You don't have to really worry about not worrying about if your check is gonna come, okay? If you're gonna get paid and stuff like that. I mean, it's a lot of pros to having a 9 to 5, and it's a lot of pros to having a business. But there's levels to having your own business and levels to being your own boss. There's levels to this, okay? So for instance, let me give you an example of being your own boss. This is a level right here. You don't have to be a leader if you are your own leader. What does that mean? If you have yourself a sole proprietary, a LLC, or a corporation, depending on which one you elected it to, it doesn't really matter, C corporation, S corp, you could be you and you only. You could be the only one, the only employee running the business, and you could be working from home. Not only would you make way more than $1,000 every 2 weeks to $2,000 to $3,000 every 2 weeks, you will be making double that. So a lot of individuals make it seem like you have to, when you be your own boss, you're going to be making millions of dollars. There's several different layers to this. When I first started out, I did not clear $10,000 a month. I was making that $600 every week. First, it started off with $300 a week. Then it went up to $600 a week. Then it went up to $1,000 a week. Then it started having $300 days, $600 days, $1,000 days. But these days wasn't consistent like your job. You have to be consistent with your business. So it doesn't matter what type of business you start. If you're on that level of it's just you yourself and I, you're your own boss. I don't care if you knitting a service or I met somebody that was doing dog chains and dog collars and dog accessories by themselves, clearing themselves over $8,000 to $12,000 a month, $8,000 to $12,000 a month, because not every month is the same, but you're supposed to be building your business up. Just like the company you work for is building the business up, okay? They building it up and you helping them build it up. So that's one level, being your own boss. You can literally work from home. I don't care if it's a virtual office, call center. I don't care if you're doing dogs, accessories, if you're doing hair accessories, if you're doing cosmetics accessories, if you're doing helping people show them how to lose weight. It's several things showing how people do carpentries, Christmas lights. You can think of it, you could do it. It's trees, growing, it's dishes, what's your specialty in services that you provide. You your own boss in business, and you could be making anywhere between $4,000 to $5,000 by yourself to 30 grand a month by yourself. 5 to 30 grand a month by yourself. But what does that bring doing that by yourself? What does that bring? It brings a peace of mind. It brings that less stress that you don't have to be on the freeway. No, 30 minutes to 2 hours. You're not what is called having to get up early or lay your clothes out. You're not struggling and not spending time with your family members and your spouse. Time with you. It gives you major flexibility to think and be more creative on other things that you might want to do. Okay? That's what it gives you. It gives you experience. As you continue doing this over and over and over and over again, you start learning. And you start getting more creativity and more stronger, and you gain more experience, and you find out about all the loopholes. You find out about the negativity, positivity. You find out about the trips and snares. You learn from your mistakes, and a lot of mistakes you're going to learn, and you'll go from these mistakes and doing things better. You climb from that $3,000 a month to $6,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $30,000 a month, $60,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $120,000 a month. Ask me how I know. This is the difference. Once you gain that experience of doing the work for yourself, by yourself, not outsourcing everything, learning your business, learning your craft. You go from your garage or your mama or your daddy or your sister or auntie or uncle's bedroom or outside, wherever it is. You go from there. In a few months to a few years, you'll literally be in your own place. And then from there, you can go to having your own brick and mortar. And if you can scale it up how high as you want, next level, you go from your garage or your bedroom, because that's where I started at. I literally started in an extra bedroom that I had. Stuff was stored up in a closet. Okay? So I know the humble beginnings. And then you go from that next level of now you're being more sophisticated and creative and smart with your business, and you get a brick and mortar. Oh, that's the next level right there. That's a different type of boss. Boss that has his own brick and mortar. They might be leasing an office, or they might be leasing a small space, and that's their space. Might be 400-500 square footage. It might be 3,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 square footage, but it's theirs. They're paying the landlord. They're actually done the work to actually, get the $1,000 to $2,000 to $3,000 to renovate their place, because the landlord gave them 4 to 5 to 6 months to renovate the place the way they want it, free rent. They ain't have to pay. Ask me how I know. I've done this several times. So I know what it feels like to be the boss that gets your own brick and mortar, and you talk to the landlord and you let them know, hey, look, what you want once a month. And they charge you by the square footage. And you got to be based on your profit and margin and how much you've been making with the services you've been providing and the customer service and the products that you're providing out there to the world and to the city, to the county, to the state, and online. You now know your budget on how you can afford the monthly rent, because you're clearing over 10 racks plus a month. So if the rent is $750 to $1,500 a month, you know you can clear that, because now it opens up the door for you to not be in a bedroom, not be in a garage, not be in somebody else's space. You can set it up exactly how you want it. That actually is the different level of bossness, a different level of doing business. Now you have exposure all over Now you have a business address instead of a home address. Okay. Now you're in that place of gaining yourself anywhere between, like donut shops and nail shops. You're grossing anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000 a month to $25,000 to $30,000 a month. I know. I've talked to those that have had donut shops and nail shops when I was opening up my brick and mortars, asking, that's a different level of bossness. Now the next level of bossness is when you want to actually scale up to the point that you want to now gross 30. You want to go from that 15 to 30 grand a month to about 60 to 80,000 a month. You want to be grossing 60 to 80,000 a month, but it's not enough. You by yourself. So you need to now do some profit and margin on who you want to hire to actually carbon copy yourself. You need someone that trained that could do exactly what you do and know what you do, know what you know, and to help you and assist you. It's called employees. And when you hire an employee and you giving them anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000 a month, they better be bringing you, their efforts and work better be clearing double, if not triple of that. So if you gonna pay them $2,000 a month, they better be bringing you at least $6,000 a month with their work ethics. You training them and giving them the responsibility to do the things that you've been doing. Not on the high level of you, because they're not a boss. You hired them, but you need them to take some pressure off you so you can move around a little more. You can make more relationships. You can open up another brick and mortar, but you need someone to actually assist you. So now you might look, wow, you hire one employee besides yourself and you scale up not close to that 60 grand. That employee brought you a good solid extra 10, 15K to your pot. Now you're about $45,000 a month. Ask me how I know. And you're like, wow, this really works with an employee. I have more flexibility time with my kids, with my queen, my spouse. I can now maneuver and do the things I want to do. I can start looking at the other thing. I have more time to actually see what more products and services I want to add to my arsenal. And you're like, man, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to give me another employee and another employee. Now you got multiple employees and you just scaled up. That's another type of boss. And then you actually go to that fourth type boss that's like, man, I see the scaling and I see that I can manage a team. I see that I can have employees underneath. Now I need to take off and not be here at this brick and mortar. I need to have me a manager or a supervisor so I can now open me up another location. Ooh, now you're going there. And then you're like, there's too much pressure. I don't trust people. I might just stick with this 1 or 2 stores that I have. And I done got the formula now. Now I can have a manager here and a manager over here. And now I can be that type of boss that I ain't got to do pretty much nothing. Ask me how I know. That part, those are different levels of bosses. And you won't know this unless you jump and take that move. And you make that move. And you take that leap and take the trust in you. You'll never know if you at a 9 to 5. You're allowing them to scale up when they come in and have an office and say, hey, look, we're about to go Fortune 500. That's another type of level, being a boss and being a leader. When a person wants to go public and now they have branches all over the place and they don't just have managers and supervisors, they have regional managers. That's a different type level. So don't let people confuse you, telling you that, people giving people false narratives about being a boss online and social media and that it ain't all roses and it's different levels. It's the first starting out with you, yourself, and I. You have to first see if you serious. You have to first see if you can be consistent. You have to first see if you have the passion and the desire to no longer be dependent on a check that's going to have you stuck. And they might give you a 10% raise that month that might pay for an extra tank of gas for that month. Or it might give you $100 raise on your check, and it might pay for the parking and the parking structure for that year. It's Your creativity and energy and your power and your knowledge is a lot more than just spending time 8 hours to 10 hours at a 9-to-5 job. So don't get confused. Ain't nothing wrong with being a 9-to-5 worker if that's what you cool with and you found your passion and you love what you do. But it's not all roses and peaches and cream, okay? If you ain't serious about handling your business. You got to be serious about handling your business. But it's different levels, many levels of being a boss. I just talked about 5, okay? So it's levels of handling your business and being a business owner and being your own boss. Don't let nobody trick you out of reality, okay? Don't let nobody tell you that it's best to just stay with a security 9-to-5 job. To me, they don't even know how to do business themselves. And when it comes to Dame Dash, you would have to know the business side to know how you get kind of disrespect. The more money you make, the more money they take. You would have to understand if he owes anywhere between $8 to $10 million, you don't even know what that feels like. You don't even know what that looks like. He's probably like 3-4 years behind. But if you are anywhere between $8 to $9 to $10 million behind, and you've been making a lot of money, you had to be over 50, 60, $100+ million every single year. So he decided to not pay them all their money every single year. Got himself behind, got caught up on child support. And then he tried to hide here, hide there, move things around here, try to do the entities this way and do that. Got pissed off saying, I ain't paying, it ain't going down like that. And as time went on, he got behind in paying his taxes 3 and 4 and 5 years. Ask me how I know. You can get behind. I've been behind myself a couple $100,000. But you gotta be making a lot of money just to be behind that type of amount of money. Got it right? But man, when they come after you, they come after you, because when you're on the business side, in order to make sure that you are not getting caught up in hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars that you owe them, you gotta be savvy. You gotta be willing to take that leap while you're doing your profit and margin. You scaling up from $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Now you're going to $10,000 to $15,000, $25,000 a month, and now you're at that $60,000 to $100,000 a month. Now you have to take the time to slow and pump the brakes and be like, hey, I'm making a lot of money a month. I need to hire me somebody to do my taxes because I'm slipping on these write-offs right here. I'm making so much money, and I'm getting letters talking about, oh, I'm not paying that. I just bought this. I'm finna spend the money on this. She think I'm finna give her that. He think I'm finna give him that. That entity think I owe him that. And you start getting arrogant and upset and mean and angry, and you don't want to pay. And then next thing you know, time don't stop and wait for nobody. So the matter of the fact that him owing $8 to $9 to $10+ million, that means that man been making hundreds of millions of dollars, and decided to just he's paid a lot of his taxes, a lot of it. And he's been savvy enough to make sure he got a lot of write-offs that he didn't have to pay a lot. But things will catch up with you when you're trying to be a lot of savvy and move here, move there, move there. And the way he talk online, he talks too much. So they start looking under the rocks and under the crevices to try to find out how much you are actually being savvy, and you're not trying to pay your taxes. You're trying to be too slick, okay? And you don't want to give me my cut. The more you make, the more they take. So please understand, it's levels to being your own boss. And understanding when you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month and making millions of dollars a month, you gonna catch and get caught up in some mess. And sometimes your emotions will get caught up and you ain't gonna wanna pay. I've been there before. But if you don't look at the bright and bigger picture and just go ahead and get a team to help you do some tax write-offs and open up other entities and invest in other locations and deals instead of to offset that bill, you're gonna be in the trap. But bosses, care if you got money or you broke, it's always a boss, because they understand the difference between a boss and a worker, because they understand this chess is out here, not checkers. Kareem, peace.
Woman is the most beautiful species on the face of the planet Earth. There ain't nothing on earth better than a black woman.
Now from the beginning, yeah, God gave you to me, but I for granted, ignoring all the pain I put you through. I could never tell you how much I appreciate what you do. Oh, you're so incredible, lady, never unforgettable, baby. Everything you do is colorful. Everything you do is colorful. Your resilience is so spiritual. You're resilient and you're spiritual. Your love is unconditional. And I know they could never ever duplicate. Magnificent melanin, the greatest gift ever created. You're my. Listen, you're my strong black woman, but you're more than a woman. You're the reason why I'm breathing. Hey, you give life to the seasons. You're my strong black woman, but you're more than a woman. You're Mother Earth for a reason. Hey, you give life to the seasons. And I know sometimes it gets difficult. I don't understand. I judge you 'cause you're attitude. Why you mad? Just because you're strong, that don't mean I leave you out on your own to raise a family on your own. You were made to be my queen, so come take your throne. Everything you do is colorful. Your resilience is so spiritual.